Welcome back, everyone.
This is Jack.
Without further ado, Dr. June Ross Mitchell will commence the demonstration. And might I say, to you both, Godspeed.
As the protagonist of a horror movie, it is considered vital that the audience relates to Jack, as horror movies often use classic techniques to scare the viewers by using POV shots from the protagonist's point of view. Placing the camera behind the protagonist. Or using the protagonist to either obscure something scary, or simply alternating between showing the character and the object of the scare. This is not the case with Late Night with the Devil, as the movie was shot in the style of a classic 70s talk show.
Good evening, Night Owls! I'm your host, Jack Delroy, and thank you for allowing me into your living rooms for the first of what I hope will be many, many shows.
Jack is almost always in frame, often the center point of it. However, the fact that we know there is a camera filming him creates a distance between the audience and Jack, which is unusual for the genre, as horror movies benefit from the viewers imagining themselves in the main character's place. It's part of what makes them scary. By using this distance, directors Cameron and Colin Cairns carefully build an eerie atmosphere, create tension, and one of the best scares in recent history. A scene that doesn't utilize the aforementioned horror movie tropes, jump scares, shaky cam, and POV shots, and instead calls back to classic horror movies like The Exorcist.
The power of Christ compels you! The power of Christ compels you! The power of Christ compels you!
And I'm not talking about the actual Conjuring sequence that is clearly a nod to the movie. The scene we are analyzing today is a bit further in the movie, when Jack is examining a recording of The Conjuring we have already witnessed before. When the possessed girl looks at Jack and calls to him, the camera glitches out, for a couple of frames only, and something appears that is almost impossible to fully grasp at regular speed, but it catches Jack's eyes as well.
Good to see you again, Jack.
Sorry, I don't believe we've been acquainted.
Don't be a fool.
But it is not what is actually revealed when the recording is slowed down. See, Jack had a wife, Madeline. We see her during the intro and it is revealed that she died of cancer. Jack does look sad about it, but there is more to it. He looks almost guilty when we see him looking at his dying wife. We see this guilty, sad look on his face when Madeline is brought up, and later even scared during the first unsettling scene in the movie, when a clearly fake mentalist, Christu, reveals her private nickname, Minnie.
I'm getting the name Minnie! The spirit needs to talk to you! Who are you?
At this point we are still skeptical. Christu's act was clearly fake before, but after several paranormal events lead up to the Conjuring scene, while there is still a hint of skepticism in us as the audience, as the movie deliberately points out ways the whole thing could be a facade, the seed of something paranormal and dark surrounding Minnie's death is planted. Now let's get back to the ominous scene in question. During The Conjuring, when the camera glitches out, the audience might think that it was just a design touch added to the movie to further emphasize the vintage style and found footage feel. But looking at the recording of the Conjuring sequence, Jack's eyes catch the camera glitch as well. This not only takes us back to remembering the moment during the scene, but makes us feel like we witnessed but missed something important and potentially dark.
Yeah, right there.
Okay, speak. You know who I am, Doctor?
Jack then proceeds to instruct the camera crew, whose footage we are supposedly watching, to slow down the moment more and more. And this is painstakingly slow, further adding to the tension. We are not only curious now about the nature of what we saw, but kind of scared of finding out. The fact that a demon of some kind or anything spooky was there the whole time, and we actually saw it, finally eliminates the distance between the viewers and Jack. Now we have the same goal: find out what we saw. We almost share the impatience with which he talks to the crew. So the final reveal of an undoubtedly paranormal event hits us just as hard as it hits Jack. We see the steel frame, on which Madeline's ghost is standing right behind Jack with her hand on his shoulder. She doesn't look like a demon, she's not that scary, in fact she just looks sad. While it is eerie and ominous, we almost feel a sense of relief that it wasn't an ugly ghost face, but is this blue ghost really what we saw in the glitch? Not really, and we have a gut feeling about something being off still. But I'll get to that in a second. The directors then use our sense of relief to kick us right back into unnerving territory when the camera pans out. Let's look again.
Minnie? My God.
For just a second, we see Madeline's hand on Jack's shoulder, now in real time, not on a picture we look at. Jack's face says it all. He isn't scared, not even startled really. He's clearly sad, but now there is an undoubtable guilt in his eyes. It's almost like a realization doomed on him. And even though we do not yet know what that realization is, we feel its weight. We now know for sure that something ominous happened and that in the world of the movie, ghosts and demons are real, and finally, there is something to actually be scared of. But it's not only fear. Jack's guilty look makes us want to know even more about what happened to his wife. And this is why the scene is genius. In just about 1 minute, the director has made us question what we've seen before, revealed some of the nature of what's going on, but intrigued us even more for what's about to come. And the carefully placed clues about Madeline's presence make it a textbook, amazing example of tension in movies, with proper well-placed build-up, and the jarring climax that leaves us yearning for more. The scene also made me reflect on the first time I watched The Exorcist, and the infamous demon had scene. A classic example that this movie clearly borrowed from, but with a very mature, thought-out and modern twist.
Sure.
But I promise there is more to the glitch we saw. Before I reveal my little investigation, let me quickly remind you that this is a brand new channel and the majority of my viewers are not subscribers, so please indulge me in a sub if you are enjoying the video and help me grow this channel with lots of similar content in the future. Back to Ghost. After watching the movie, I still had a hint of doubt in me. I felt like the blue ghost is not what I actually saw during the Conjuring scene, so I started to do the same thing Jack did. Rewatching the scene and slowing it down and finally going frame by frame, very carefully to finally find that I was right. The actual shot we see during the movie also shows Madeline, but not blue in color. A blurry image of Jack's dead wife, replacing for just a millisecond the possessed girl's head. As you can imagine, I immediately got shivers down my spine, but more importantly, this gave me a connection to the movie that is much more than a regular viewing experience. It made me dig into the scene more afterwards, investigate, and gave me a chilling sense of accomplishment when I saw the face. So please, if you have not watched Late Night with the Devil already, and you are curious why Jack looks guilty in the scene, do yourself a favor and watch it, and tell me what you think about this scene and the movie in the comments below. I'm curious if any of you had a similar experience with this movie or a different one. Did you ever do your own little research after the movie? I'm always open to movie ideas, so feel free to recommend similar things. And finally, if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more in the future, and check out my other videos as well, and see you soon.